Welcome to my series on IEB past music papers. I'm busy working through questions from the 2023 paper. In my previous video, I looked at question 1.1. Let's move on to question 1.2 now. So here I'm asked to refer to the melody below while listening to track 6. So let's take a listen to track 6.
What good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret.
So in question 1.2.1, we're asked to correct the rhythm in bar 3. Write your answer on the stave below. Just for ease of reference, I'm going to bring this rhythm down here so that we can see it right next door. And let's take a listen to this bar again.
What good is sitting alone in your room?
As you can hear, this should be written out just as plain crotchets and not as the dotted rhythm that we have here. Again, this is a theory paper. We are not barbarians. We do not write music theory in pen. So make sure that you are doing this with a nice sharp pencil. Question 1.2.2 asks, using the given rhythm, fill in the missing notes in bar 10. Here I'm going to play bars 9 and 10 so that we can sort of situate ourselves within the pitches that we hear. So here's bar 9 and 10.
Life is a cabaret.
As you can hear, we go in bar 9, A, C, A, then we go back to a C and down to an A again. So use the bars around the blank bar to help you work out what those pitches are. So that is the final answer, again written in pencil because this is music theory. Let's move on to our next question. Here in question 1.3, we're asked to first listen to track number 7, and it states that there are only 3 sets of words in this piece, although they are repeated, and it gives us the 3 lines. There are several different musical textures in this extract. Describe 2 features of the musical textures used for different sets of words. So we've got glory to God in the highest, and peace on earth, and goodwill to men. So let's have a listen to track 7. Here we are asked to describe the textures, and not just the textures, but 2 features of the musical textures. And it is essential that we're using the correct terminology here. So remember, the textures we can talk about are homophonic, monophonic, and polyphonic. So please make sure you are using the correct terminology and then describing what that actually means. So if we look at glory to God in the highest, having listened to track 7, we'll know that this is sung in a homophonic way. The voices sing the same words but in harmony, and this harmonized melody is then accompanied by strings. So remember, homophonic means something that is either sung in harmony or a melody with accompaniment. If we move on to and peace on earth, This is sung in a monophonic texture where all the voices sing together in unison or octaves. So even though the notes are not exactly the same, they contain the same letter name. So it is okay for monophonic melodies to have notes that are an octave apart. They don't have to be strictly unison. Octaves are allowed as well. And if we move on to Goodwill to Men, here we can say that this is either a polyphonic melody or a contrapuntal texture. So polyphonic and contrapuntal generally mean the same thing. And here we can describe this as the voice parts singing different overlapping melodies to create this beautiful polyphonic texture. The final question of question 1, question 1.4, asks us to listen to track 8, and then it says the following paragraph contains 5 inaccuracies. Correct these inaccuracies below. I'm not going to play track 8 for you because it's one of our set works. It's Boplicity by Miles Davis, and this is something that you should know very well with it being one of your set works. You need to know these set works inside and out. So let's take a read of this paragraph. It says, you have been listening to Boplicity. This Gil Evans arrangement is from the studio album Time Out. So we can underline Time Out as an error because Time Out was by Dave Brubeck, not by Miles Davis. Okay, and it says here, and it was recorded by the Miles Davis Quintet. Again, quintet is inaccurate. There were a lot more players in this group of musicians. And the fact that it was in 1949 is correct. If we carry on, the recording features a few classically trained musicians who played unconventional instruments such as the violin and tuba. Yes, there is a tuba in Boplicity, but there is not a violin, so we need to underline violin. If we carry on, Boplicity is based on a 12-bar blues structure. No, it is not. Okay, we can underline 12-bar blues as an error here, but it does have a moderate tempo, so the rest of that sentence is fine. Our final sentence says, it has no introduction, but the opening chorus is written out for the full ensemble. Not the full ensemble. There's an instrument missing from that full ensemble, so we're going to underline full ensemble. I'm going to remove these lines just because I'm writing nice and big for the sake of this video. And I need a little bit more space. So we're going to write out our first sentence just as is. You have been listening to Boplicity. We can write out the rest of that line. This Gil Evans arrangement is from the studio album. It's not Time Out. It is the Birth of Cool. So I would highly recommend that you underline or highlight or capitalize the changes that you're making. Make it easy for your examiner to find what you have changed. Okay, and we can carry on, and it was recorded by the Miles Davis Nonet. So we have 9 musicians playing here, not 5. And we can continue the sentence in 1949, which is correct. We can write out the rest of the correct part. The recording features a few classically trained musicians who played unconventional jazz instruments such as the French horn, not violin, and tuba. Boplicity is based on a 32-bar or AABA structure, and so you can say either one of these, or even put both. Both would be correct, and we can say and it has a moderate tempo, which is all correct. Let's do our final sentence now. It has no introduction, but the opening chorus is fully written out for the full ensemble minus the piano. So we need to point out that there is no piano part in this in this first chorus. So there you have it. That is the end of question 1 of the 2023 paper, past paper from the IEB. I will see you in the next video for question 2.